Hello, Adrian White here. Like I usually do, I have typed out what I'd like to say. It's kind of like a helpful memory tool for me, so I can remember what I want to say easier when I need to. Now, with that said, I'll go ahead and get into it. In previous videos, I spoke some things about King Yahushua. Now, I want to speak some things about Yahuwah. Who is Yahuwah? Yahuwah is the father of King Yahushua, and Yahuwah is also the father and originator of humanity. Without Yahuwah, nobody on earth would exist. Also, without Yahuwah, nothing in the universe would exist. No sun, no moon, no stars, and nothing else. And in the first book of Scripture, it talks about what Yahuwah created and when. For example, he created water animals like fish, for example, and also air animals like birds, for example, on the same day. Now moving forward, a lot of people may know Yahuwah as God or the Lord, and I want people to feel free to do their own research. But with research, I found out that the word God didn't even start being written on earth until sometime between the year 501 and the year 600 of our current time frame, which is also known as the Common Era. And we're currently past the year 2000 of the Common Era. But scripture shows that Yahuwah revealed himself to multiple people on earth before the year 501 of the Common Era, even over 1,000 years before that point. And people were writing back then. And just to put this out there, prior to the Common Era, it's also known as before Common Era. And people can look more into all that if they desire. But moving along, so since people were writing back then, and Yahuwah also was revealing himself to folks in different ways before the word God was ever written on earth, I wonder how likely people think it is that folks back then were actually calling him God. Seems highly unlikely to me. And I'd rather stay with what's been given by the giver. And I know it's people that be lying on earth, making stuff up. Plus on earth today, not including everything I've seen famous rappers being labeled with the word God. Also superhero type characters being referred to as God. And even demonic characters being referred to as God. So put plainly, if all of them are truly to be considered God, God ain't who or what Yahuwah is. Yahuwah is far above all that. And there is nothing else in existence that is even on his level. He is the one that is absolutely set apart from all other existences. And all the stuff I just went over, like how the word God wasn't even being written on earth when Yahuwah was revealing himself to folks far back in the past, and the fact that the word God is being used to point to famous rappers, superhero type characters, and even demon/demonic characters on this earth are some of the main reasons I don't call Yahuwah God, even though I used to be someone that did. Please just remember that Yahuwah is set apart from all other existences. And then there's the word Lord. And after I did a little research on it, I found that the word Lord means or translates to Baal, Baal. Now I've heard people pronounce Baal as Baal and even other ways, but I'll go ahead and continue to pronounce it Baal so I won't have to keep switching back and forth for the rest of this video. Now moving forward. In the past, there were people that believed in Baal, and they used to direct their worship to Baal idol statues as a way to worship Baal that they believed in. Now there are multiple types of Baal idol statues, and more than one place that Baal is mentioned in scripture, but I'll put up one type of Baal idol statue on screen for people to see, and after that I'll speak on one of the stories found in scripture involving Baal. Now in scripture, long story short, when a contest of answer with fire was set up, basically to show who's real, who's the real deal, who is it that we actually need to pray to or worship between Baal and Yahuwah. Between Baal and Yahuwah, Baal was shown to be false/fake, and Yahuwah was shown to be the truth. Believers in Baal were even calling out to Baal for Baal to respond by fire, and even cutting themselves until blood was bursting out upon themselves as part of their belief system, but no one ever responded. But when Yahuwah was called upon, Yahuwah responded by fire, just like what was stated as part of the contest. Yahuwah's fire came down. And after that, people understood that Yahuwah was who was to be worshipped, and not this Baal character. Now again, Baal means or translates to Lord. So fast forward, if people nowadays don't want to direct their prayer or worship to Baal, who was shown as a false one between Baal and Yahuwah, I recommend people stop calling upon, praying to, and worshiping Lord or the Lord, and instead start focusing their attention on Yahuwah. Calling Yahuwah Lord or the Lord is similar to somebody calling me light pole head or piece of legs, as if that's something that actually matches up to what I want to be called or who I am. I personally don't go by light pole head at all, and I also don't go by pizza legs at all, and I don't want to be called those things, even if somebody is going around saying that it's okay to call me those things. And I myself never even gave people those things to call me. So in the same way, the word God and Lord or the Lord ain't who he is. And those words were never truly what Yahuwah gave for himself to be called by us. So we can show him respect, care, and even love by not calling him those things. I want people to know that I have personally seen Yahuwah. He revealed himself to me myself in a dream. And in scripture, he also revealed himself to people inside their dream, and also in other ways, many years before I was even born. He existed in scripture way back in the past, and he exists today. He does not die, nor does he just fade away. And please know that Yahuwah is okay with us calling him by name. In scripture, people were taught to sing praises to his name, and in other ways in scripture, it shows that his name is important. And it's also okay to call Yahuwah Father. Yahuwah is our Father, and he is also the Father of King Yahusha. And the only one above King Yahusha in existence is Yahuwah. But that about wraps up what I wanted to speak about on this video. And with that said, I'll go ahead and say bye for now.